A very warm welcome, Melisa. So, for all the people who will be watching this interview, let me tell you, we have with us Melisa Wong, who is the executive director of Babes, an organization that supports the teenagers with pregnancy issues. So, currently, Melisa, we are running our International Women's Day campaign as well. And we eagerly wanted to connect with you. And I'm so grateful that I'm currently connecting with you to understand more about this cause, understand more about the issue, and even more about what Babes as an organization has been doing and impacting how is it been impacting the lives of these women and teenage girls. So over to you, Melisa. I would like to ask my first question, like, what is the significance of International Women's Day?
So, International Women's Day is a day to celebrate women's achievement and also to raise awareness of women's equality. So for Babes, what it means to us is to celebrate the achievements of our beneficiaries, our teen moms, because being pregnant at such a young age means facing a lot of challenges and making tough decisions that none of their peers face. Considering being below 21, most of them are actually still schooling. So it actually takes a lot of grit and courage for our teens to take on the responsibility. And also we want to recognize and empower them to keep pushing forward.
Wow, I think that's a great way to put that up, because yes, that's actually something which is being slightly overlooked when we talk about the entire context and the teenage pregnancy. Like, I have connected with a lot of non-profit organizations, but I've rarely heard people working for this cause. And when I first heard about Babes and its work, I was really overwhelmed by the work that you're doing and the way you are influencing the society around you. So thank you so much for doing that. Also, here I would like to understand more about, since your organization is very unique in terms of the work that they do and the way they impact the society. So I would like to understand it slightly more deeper, that how does Babes create an impact in the society? What is it exactly working towards? How is it interacting with its beneficiaries, and how are you benefiting them?
Yeah, so for Babes, our work focuses on empowering our beneficiaries, the teen moms, so that they can make the responsible decision for themselves, meaning the outcome of the pregnancy that they decide on. So they do not have much resources and support. So we journey with them, and for every success that they make, regardless how big or small, we celebrate it with them because they deserve to be celebrated. So this year the theme is on breaking the bias. So this is something that speaks to the core of our work. So despite how modern and progressive Singapore is as a society, there's still structural biasness. So pregnant teens fall into this gap because they are both underage, and should they keep the baby and choose parenthood? So as a single mother, they are not eligible for a lot of resources and support as compared to someone who's above 21 years old and or married. Yeah, because if we look at structural biases, policies and all, for example, application of housing can only be done if you're above 21 years old. Unless you're married, you will get the cash gift bonus, things like that. Yeah, so a lot more work can be done to support our girls, such that they can have a fair chance to move towards their future as with their peers. So we hope to remove the stigma in Singapore, and also include raising awareness and support for a more inclusive society.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that, Melisa. In fact, this is something that is the need of the hour. And like you talked about the stigma and the biases that are prevalent in our societies, like I would say it is prevalent even in the most developed countries as well when it comes to the teenage pregnancies. So like there is a lot of stigma, a lot of bias associated with this. So I would like you, like, what are some things that you would like more people to know about? Like awareness about teenage pregnancy is very, very low. People in a way mistreat or not, they do not treat equally the teenage girls who are facing these kind of pregnancies. So there might be a lot of prejudices, a lot of stigma, a lot of myths prevalent around this particular issue. So I would like you to bust all those myths and put up some points that you would like more people to know about in our society about these issues.
Yeah, so one thing is I would say that for teenage pregnancy, it's considered like unplanned pregnancy. So regardless of age, even if we are 20, 30, 40, any unplanned pregnancy creates a crisis in one's life. However, for teens, they are more vulnerable because they are still teenagers. So I think we should respect the kind of crisis that we all face and not judge because it's a teen. So hold that judgment.
Definitely, I think this is very, very important to not judge people based on their circumstances. And yes, I think thank you so much for putting that up. And now I would like to talk about the future of these girls and these women. Like, how should we encourage them to have a bright future even after facing such an issue, and even after facing so many stigmas and biases from the society as well? So what are the different ways that maybe you are already doing to encourage these women, these girls, or what can be possible ways that a society can uplift these girls and these women?
So I would say every one of us is different. I mean, we have different circumstances, different environment, different kind of support, and at different life stages, it calls for different priorities. So I mean, do not compare with your peers and others around you. So recognize what matters to you as an individual, because beyond your multiple roles and all, so at the right time and right season, you will find the right strength and resources to pursue what matters. So knowing what that goal and focus is actually important. So we need to have that confidence and trust in ourselves that it will work out. So even if it doesn't work out, we have tried and it's a learning process. However, if it works out, it's a bonus, and then we find out how we can do better.
I think that's a great way to look at it. I love the point of view, the positive and optimistic point of view that you just shared, because yes, at times we get lost as we do not find a way, a proper way, a thing that could define our future. But yes, I think embracing the unknown is something that everyone should do. And yeah, we should not let ourselves down basis of the judgment that society has for us. Thank you so much for sharing such a great thought. Also, like here, I would like to understand more about the young women that are dealing with these issues, and what could be an important message to all those women, irrespective of this particular issue, all those young women in today's era. What would be a message from Babes organization to all the young women, irrespective, like I said, irrespective of any issues, any challenges that they're facing, like to all of us?
All right, I would say you are amazing. So no matter how low or how terrible you feel at times, I think we can only define who we are. So the power is in our hands to know who we are as a person and what we can do. So I mean, we need to find that courage and confidence, like what I mentioned earlier, to trust ourselves, that we will always know what's best for us, and we will make the right choice for ourselves and also for the loved one around us. So don't be afraid and leap for the stars, dream big.
That's beautiful, Melisa. That's really some beautiful words coming from you, and it means a lot coming from you. Why? Because you are someone who has been working on ground with all these women, all these young girls who are facing these issues, and you are addressing all those challenges firsthand on ground. You're working for this, so it means a lot for us. It means a lot for our viewers. Coming such a beautiful message from you. So thank you so much for doing that. Also, now I'd like to proceed a little further from this topic. I'd like to talk about another stakeholder in every non-profit organization, who are called volunteers. So whenever I have connected with a non-profit organization, every single non-profit organization has unanimously said that the biggest stakeholder in a non-profit organization is always a volunteer. Not the founder, not the director, not the CEO, not the beneficiaries. It's the volunteers who come with the right intent at their heart to support a particular cause. So I would like to understand from you as well, what has been your interaction with your volunteers, and what are some different ways that someone, let's say like me, who is sitting completely in a different part of the world, who actually feels for the cause and wants to come up and support the cause, what are the multiple ways that someone like me or Digdarshika, my colleague, can come up and support your organization in furthering your cause?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess with remote access and all these days, it need not be on site, so you need not be in Singapore in order to support us. So I guess also we are looking at skills-based volunteering. So a lot of Support can even come through remote access. For example, even texting or being a befriender, that could work out, or even supporting the organization. So many a times, I think volunteers have the impression that if we want to contribute, it has to be to the beneficiaries. However, by supporting the organization to build our capabilities, that can also help us better support our beneficiaries. So there's a really multi-pronged approach. Yeah. So it's at all levels, volunteers can come in.
I totally agree with you on that, Melisa. Like, yes, before volunteering, everyone has their own barriers, mental barriers towards volunteering, because we as a part of Goodera have been volunteering for a lot of our non-profit partners. Like, we have weekly volunteering sessions here and we volunteer for non-profit organizations. And being a volunteer, I can definitely vouch for that. It's not just about giving back. It's a lot about taking something back for yourself as well, because the satisfaction, the mental satisfaction that you achieve from that, the joy that you get after volunteering, is something that is inexplicable and cannot be explained to someone who hasn't ever volunteered. So yes, I totally agree with you on that, and I think all it takes is the drive to support that cause. Yes.
Yeah, and usually we learn more than what we give.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, Melisa, I think those were all my questions, and thank you so much for so wholesomely answering all of them. And I really appreciate you taking out your time, and like it's completely our pleasure that we were able to connect with your organization, with your cause, and we are currently the partners.
Thank you very much.
Before ending this beautiful discussion, Melisa, I would like you to speak to all those people who will be watching this particular interview in the later stage, to all those potential volunteers who will be watching this, and tell them through your message that how their bare minimum effort can create such a huge impact in the lives of people that you're serving, in the lives of your non-profit as well. So just a quick message from you to all the potential volunteers.
I think being in this people business is all about respect and empathy. So be it beneficiaries, colleagues, or even partners, we all have our own stories that have shaped to who we are today. So I think we need to recognize our own biasness and judgment and not impose our own values and culture onto others. So if we truly want to be supportive to our beneficiaries or whoever's out there, or even your friends, we need to give them that space to decide on their own choices. So it is what they decide and not what we think is best for them. So yeah, respect and empathy.
Wow, again, such an inspiring message. Thank you so much, Melisa. And I think I'd like to ask Digdarshika as well, since she joined us slightly late, but I would like to ask her that how did she like the interaction, and if she has to share anything. Digdarshika.
Yeah, hi Melisa. It was really nice hearing from you. And the things that you have shared, it was empowering. It was quite empathetical. Yes, today as a woman, we can take a lot of choices and nobody is bound to follow others' choices. So while taking choices, it might come across many outcomes. There might be many outcomes, but one should not judge based on those outcomes, and one should definitely have some empathy and kindness. And yeah, it is more in what you give and less in what you take from the society. Yes, a helping hand is a definite must for teenage unwanted pregnant women or anyone in that situation. Yeah, it was really nice hearing from you. Thank you.